Hello and welcome to all Top 5s. Unexplained sounds are just as terrifying as unexplained photographs or sightings, and these 5 have never had a definitive explanation. Number 5. Skyquake. Also known as mystery booms, these noises have been reported for decades, with the first such example being from 1824 on an island in the Adriatic Sea. These skyquakes are heard all over the world, and people who have witnessed such sounds describe them as sounding like a sonic boom or cannon fire. They've also been described as sounding like distant but very loud thunder, despite there being no storm clouds nearby. Skyquakes have even been known to rattle objects on shelves with their shockwaves. The Native Americans told early settlers that these booming noises were the Great Spirit working on the earth, shaping it as he saw fit. The Japanese call them uminari, which literally translates as cries from the sea. Indeed, most reports are from areas of large bodies of water, mainly coasts. Whether this suggests that the noises originate from the sea or from lakes, or whether it means that the noise of inland settlements drown out the skyquakes, nobody knows. It's been suggested that skyquakes are unseen meteors hitting the Earth's atmosphere, for this definitely causes sonic booms, UFOs, natural gas escaping suddenly from the Earth's crust or under lakes, military aircraft, although this isn't a reasonable explanation for sounds heard in the 19th and early 20th centuries, distant thunder focused through the outer atmosphere, the collapse of underwater caves, unusual earthquakes, and it's even been suggested that the sounds are magnetic activity from the sun hitting the Earth. None of these fully explains the sounds, however, and to this day skyquakes remain a mystery. Number 4. UVB-76. This is a shortwave radio station also known as the Buzzer. Its broadcast is held on the frequency 4625 kHz. It runs constantly and is characterized by a repeated buzzing sound that plays 25 times per minute. However, the really strange bit comes in when occasionally there is a voice transmission of someone speaking Russian. For the most part, the words are cryptic and mysterious, and then the buzzing resumes. There have been many weird, unusual transmissions picked up by listeners. On the 11th of November 2010, for about half an hour, what sounds like phone conversations were transmitted, translating from Russian to mention of a brigade operative officer on duty, the word volcano, the word for hope, and Sudak, a town in Crimea but also a type of fish. Really strange. Other, more distant conversations can be heard at times, once including what sounds like a woman screaming. Definitely creepy, mainly because no one knows for sure why this radio station exists. Some claim that it's a secret Russian military leftover from the Cold War, but for some reason it's still active and manned. Certainly the original location of UVB-76's transmissions was traced to the Russian countryside near Povarovo, and the new location is unknown, routed through a communication hub near Moscow. There are many other radio stations with similar broadcasts that are just as mysterious, and I'll revisit this topic in full in a future video. Number 3. The Colossi of Memnon. Here's a historical one. El Colossat, or the Colossi of Memnon, are 2 enormous sandstone statues depicting Pharaoh Amenhotep III. They were built around 1350 BCE and stand near the city of Luxor by the River Nile. During a strong earthquake in 27 BCE, the right colossus was shattered. The lower half became cracked and its torso and head collapsed on itself. It was rebuilt by the Romans later on in about the year 199, but in the time between, the broken colossus was commonly reported to make a strange sound. The colossus was documented as singing always an hour or so before daybreak on a few days each month. Some people described the sound as a kind of blow, a deep metallic noise. Others compared it to a lyre string breaking, yet more visitors stated it sounded much more like a whistling sound or a brass instrument being hit. The sound became widely known, and many Roman emperors and other important people visited, believing that hearing the vocal memnon brought good luck and that the statue demonstrated the powers of an oracle. Since the Romans rebuilt the Colossus, however, the sound ceased, and any more modern claims of hearing it have been dismissed as hoaxes. There have been several explanations put forward for the noise. One, as I've mentioned, is that the oracle dwelling inside the statue was purported to release the noise to bless listeners and disappeared again once the rifts in the statue were closed up. Another more scientific approach is that the sound may have been caused by morning dew inside the porous sandstone, evaporating as temperatures rose in the mornings, making a natural sound. Such phenomena have been known to occur, though much more rarely, at other ancient Egyptian constructions. Unfortunately, the listeners found the noise impossible to locate, whether it was from the pedestal of the statue, the ruined upper portion, or the ground around the monument, but they could only say that it originated somehow from that colossus. Truly a great mystery, and one we may never know the answer to. Number 2. The hum. I wasn't aware of this until I began researching it, and it's massively widespread. The hum refers to continuous and invasive noises heard across the world, apparently only audible to certain people. The hum, be it the Bristol hum, the Taos hum, the Auckland hum, or anywhere else, has been described unanimously as a very low-frequency hum, very much like an idling diesel engine. Research into the sound, the Taos hum in New Mexico specifically, suggests that at least 2% of the population can hear it, and that it is between 32 and 80 Hz. It doesn't seem to sit with any particular gender of person, but it does seem most prevalent in middle-aged people. One person who could hear the hum stated that they were able to move away from it, and it didn't follow them, but they could hear it for nearly 50 kilometers until it went silent. This research is similar to other articles studying the hum, suggesting that it's location-specific. Worryingly, some people feel it as a vibration in their body as well as being able to hear it. Earplugs reportedly don't work, and at least 3 cases of suicide in the UK have been attributed to the hum. But what causes this scary, mysterious sound? In some places, such as Kokomo, Indiana, 2 sources of very heavy industry were thought to be the problem, each giving off deep tones of 36 Hz and 10 Hz respectively. However, when the machinery was soundproofed and corrected, reports of the hum still continued. There are certain locations where a deep hum has definitely been attributed to machinery, such as vacuum pumps and diesel generators, but these only explain a handful of cases. Some experts have indicated that it could be tinnitus, a condition where a person perceives noise where there is none, due to damage to their inner ear. However, this doesn't explain many of the cases where the noise seems to dissipate or clears entirely, depending on the location. One final explanation is that of toadfish in California. The male toadfish's mating call is a deep hum that was found to resonate through houseboats on the coast, but that definitely doesn't explain persistent hums, especially those further inland and in other countries entirely. A real mystery and quite an unnerving one. Number 1. Upsweep. When looking for unexplained sounds, you'll find plenty from deep within Earth's oceans. One such otherworldly sound, first recorded in August 1991, is known as upsweep. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has an array of hydrophones deep within the Pacific Ocean, and they picked up this eerie noise coming from somewhere within the depths of the sea. That, of course, has been sped up 20 times so that we humans can appreciate the change in tone and actually perceive the sound. It's creepy though, isn't it? Especially more so when you think the noise actually lasts 20 times longer and is 20 times deeper. Apparently, the source level of the sound is so great that it can be recorded from pretty much anywhere across the entire Pacific Ocean. In addition, since 1991, the sounds have been detected even to this day, reaching peaks in spring and autumn, but have been declining in power over time. The first thing that springs to my mind is a deep-dwelling underwater monster of gigantic proportions, bellowing out into the darkness deeper and louder than a whale. Whoa, that gives me the chills to think about, but other suggestions are a bit less creepy. One is that the upsweep is simply volcanic seismic activity in that region, but they say the sound is too consistent for that to be likely. Many other similar underwater sounds are attributable to giant icebergs scraping against the ocean floor, but their profiles definitely don't match this upsweep, and again the sound is just too consistent. I'll be looking at more of these underwater sounds in their own video at a future date, so keep an eye out for that one. Scientists have rejected every possible theory so far, leaving the upsweep as one of the most mysterious and unexplained sounds known to man. And that's it from All Top 5s for this week. We often neglect sound as a medium for picking up on unknown phenomena, favouring video and photo evidence instead. But it clearly has just as much impact and sheds a little light on some of the weird and mysterious goings-on and around our planet. What do you think of these 5? Have they made you shiver? Let me know in the comments, but do remember to be polite and considerate. Let's all get along on these. If you've enjoyed this video, feel free to click the like button or share it, because it does help me out and helps other people find these videos too. If you enjoyed this video, you can click the big bouncing subscribe button to subscribe, and you get a new video from me every single Tuesday. So peace and love to each and every one of you, be good to people, and I'll see you all next time on All Top 5s.